Hello, this is Jeff Wilson, and I run the emerging business team over at ESRI. Today, we're going to talk about going to market with your product, partnerships, and licensing and sales channels. And this comes up a lot, obviously, with the partners I work with. We work with a lot of early stage technology companies and startups, and of course, they're productizing technology and trying to build solutions around our technology. So this is a hot topic, and hopefully you'll learn a lot about how we do that and our ways to go to market with our technology and our partners. So let's just get right into it. So when we talk about technical opportunities for partners, we have kind of four categories here. From a product or solution perspective, we'll focus on the first three. Um, Extending the ArcGIS platform, embedding ArcGIS capabilities, delivering content, and providing services. Now, we won't talk much about services in this presentation because it's more about productizing. Um, Talking about extend, this is when you build a product that integrates with or talks to ArcGIS technology. As you're extending it, it's a separate product, but it complements our technology or provides a full solution for a customer when combined with our technology. When we talk about embed, we're talking about literally licensing ArcGIS capabilities inside of a solution, typically a hosted solution. And with content, this is a very kind of a popular pattern that we're doing more of with partners, and it's using our similar models to what we'd call the embed model to create content in an ESRI format that can be sold through our platform and to our customer base. So extend, embed, and deliver content. So let's start off talking about extending the platform. We have two core models here. The first one is actually a co-sell or sell with. Now you don't even have to be a partner to co-sell or sell with ESRI. This is obviously a scenario where a partner builds a product. It works nicely with one of our products. We we both go to a customer together or at separate occasions and sell the technology. It's not rocket science here. We're selling products together. We have a co-sell relationship, and we both sell to the customer, and they both become our customer. Now, as a partner, though, there's another way to do this, and that's called the partner bundle. And this is when you, as a partner, and this is also after you submit a sales authorization application or sales contract, can take your product or technology and our product or technology, bundle that together, and sell it as one item, one bundle. In this case, the key benefit for the partner is that the ESRI portion of this bundle is discounted. So you buy that at a discount, and of course, when you sell it, you can receive margin on that product, and we'll talk more about that. So when it comes to extending the platform, we'll start off with desktop. Obviously, desktop is our ArcGIS Pro is our modern desktop application, 64-bit, very powerful. When we extend ArcGIS Pro, there's a couple of core patterns, but probably the most common one is to build an add-in using the ArcGIS Pro SDK. So these would have been known as extensions in the ArcMap era. But building an add-in for Pro, you can package up workflows. You may add specific tool functionality. It also may be a special add-in for using a specific data set or connecting even to something else online, to grab data or process data. So an add-in is a common pattern. Think of it as a toolbar that has specific functionality in Pro. The other thing with the ArcGIS Pro SDK is you can build whole new experiences around Pro. So Pro can be configured to have a different opening. The buttons and tools can be reformatted, repackaged, and create almost a whole different experience for a customer. And that could be a very tailored experience. So that's another opportunity to extend Pro by delivering a customized view or a customized solution-based version of Pro for a specific customer set or a specific industry. We also have, of course, the ability to extend Pro with geoprocessing tools. So geoprocessing tools can be built and packaged up that work with the existing geoprocessing tools. You can write Python tools You can build models, so all these things can extend, and these can be, with these tools, these could be sold as separate items by a partner, or they could be given away in order to because they work with say something else in some API in the cloud or something. So and even just straight up models could be sold to customers for specific workflows. So these are all ways to extend. And then lastly, we do have native runtime SDKs. So building something like a customized desktop application using our say .NET runtime is also something that partners can do to extend functionality. Now, when it comes to the web, a couple different patterns here. I think there's really two primary patterns in my opinion, but we'll go through these. So one opportunity is to just simply use our out-of-box configurable apps and templates and be able to deliver customized workflows to customers that way. So as a partner, you can take content, and build workflows around our web app builder or even our other templates for specific experiences and solutions. You also can, but the two I want to really focus on are going to be um, web app builder widgets and the JavaScript API. So um, with web app builder, you can create your own web app builder widgets, and that for customized functionality or for interacting with say some API. This can be done, and you can what you do is you host web app builder developer edition and deploy your custom widget with that, and then that enables users to have a customized experience in our web app builder with your specific widget. Now, when it comes to web stuff, though, I think the JavaScript API is probably the best overall approach. So we have a brand new one, the 4.0 API. It's much faster. It's got more functionality, and this is where you can really customize. Build your own customized web application that interact with our infrastructure. And I think here you can recreate almost any effect you want with other configurable apps or even the web app builder widgets, but have even more control and even more customization and even branding for your application. So the JavaScript API is what we highly recommend for web application extensions, and of course always integrate with ESRI identity. When it comes to mobile, it's very a common thing to do is use our app linking feature. So in your app that you may build for a mobile device, you can link to our out-of-box apps to create specific workflows with the app linking feature. The other thing about this, obviously, is that when you build these apps, they're all going to integrate with ArcGIS Identity, which is kind of the strength of all these applications here to be able to create these customized workflows. You can also build your own, from scratch apps using our native SDKs. We've got SDKs for iOS, Android, and even Qt. So there's lots of options here, but I think the SDKs are always a good bet. And again, make sure you integrate with identity. Okay, now we're gonna have a little fun. So this is going to be probably some things that have not been discussed very frequently this way in presentations, and we're going to go through some bundles, and we're actually going to have some numbers in here. And I want to caveat this whole session with the numbers, saying don't get hung up on the actual numbers I'm showing. I'm going to show some pricing numbers. These weren't carefully collected. They're just put in here to demonstrate the concepts. So focus on the concepts, focus on the percentages. Don't get hung up on the actual numbers. They may not be exactly correct, but that's not the point. Okay, the percentages I discuss and show here, and the concepts are accurate. So, what is a partner bundle? Well, as I mentioned before, it's when you take an ESRI product plus the partner product, and you combine those together, and you make a third product, the full-on solution. And this is called a partner bundle. Now, what happens here is you receive margin on the ESRI product when you sell it in that first time, and then in the second year, that product is now supported by ESRI, and that customer is picked up by ESRI. So But the biggest benefit to you as a partner is this is a technique and a method to increase your top line revenue via the reselling opportunity, and also your bottom line profit, again, via the reselling opportunity via this bundle. The other advantage to the customer is, they get to interact with one company, one order to get the solution versus two companies. So, and also this is a technique to get ESRI technology into the hands of customers that you may find or have that don't use ESRI now. So the benefit to you is the resell and the margin, but of course it benefits ESRI because it can create net new users. So this is why we promote this. And so we'll go through some very specific examples here. So let's say you're a partner and you've built a add-in, and you price that add-in for $2,500 per instance, and that's probably similar to our extensions. So this is the price of your add-in, and this is great. You have a way to get into the ESRI ecosystem. It works seamlessly with Pro, and this is great. If you sell 250 of those add-ins at that price, you will generate 625K of top line revenue, and that's a good thing. Notice here that your partner margin says 0 because if you're doing this and you're not bundling, then that's what will occur. But as a partner, you have the ability to bundle your add-in with ArcGIS Pro. And so as a practical example, you could perhaps apply for a bundle where you could bundle a GIS professional advanced user type, which enables a Pro license. And so that would deliver Pro to, say, a customer you're approaching who does not have Pro and who wants to use your specific add-in or use your technology. So you built this add-in, they want to use what you do, they don't have Pro, maybe they never heard of ESRI. You can create this bundle that lets them sign into Enterprise or sign into ArcGIS Online as a professional user type and get access to the Pro. Well, that user type, as a partner, you would get a margin, a discount on that. You would buy that from us for, say, $3,040 instead of the $3,800 list price, meaning that your margin is $760. So if you combine that into a bundle, you can sell that bundle, say, for $6,300, which would be the exact same price as your add-in and the exact same price as our user type combined. But the added benefit to you is by doing that, you've increased your top line revenue by twofold, and you've actually generated another $190,000 of margin. So you're in a better position at almost 1 million more in revenue and an additional couple hundred K in profit simply by bundling those together and selling to users outside the ArcGIS ecosystem. Now let's take this to a web model. So again, you've built a beautiful JavaScript API application that has specific functionality and a specific workflow, and it works very nicely with ESRI identity. So it's designed to be sold to ESRI customers, ESRI users, and it leverages much of our infrastructure and back-end technology to help accomplish what it does. So this is perfectly ready to insert into an ESRI ecosystem. However, this specific application may have functionality that applies to people who don't have ESRI technology, and there may be some things there they want to do, and there's an opportunity to sell into new white space. So let's say you sell this application for $100,000 for, say 250 users. So just say that's a notional price point. So if you sell this application to 250 users who already have ArcGIS Online, that's great. You'll make $100,000. Of course, no partner margin. However, if you encounter a perhaps new customer who does not have the ArcGIS infrastructure on the back end to make this work, you as a partner can deliver that. So you could sell your application along with the required ArcGIS Online organization or enterprise and those ArcGIS user types to help power your application. And let's say the mix of users in this situation tallies up to 75K for that org. Well, you as a partner can come and buy those at a margin, at a discount, and the margin in this case would be $15,000. So then you put those into a bundle. So you sell your 100K app with the 75K list price ArcGIS Online org to that customer for 175K. They get the full-on solution. As a result, you've increased your top-line revenue by $75,000 and pulled in an additional $15,000 of profit. okay, simply by bundling. So this is a clever way to make money as you know, beachhead into new customer spaces with unique solutions. Now I'll take this one step further, and this is a little bit of a complicated slide, but again, it's I see this with a lot of these emerging businesses. Uh, let's say what you really sell is your data, and you have an API for the data. So there's an API that accesses data. There's analytics on the back end in your API, and that's what you really sell. And let's say for 250 users, access to the API for a year, say, is $150,000. But you want to have some spatial analysis functionality. You want to leverage some things that the ESRI backend infrastructure can do to help these people analyze the data and perhaps store it. So you've built this, again, great JavaScript application for the users, and you typically just give that away. You give it to them because what you're really selling is the API. So let's say this combination that you offer, the web app and the data API comes to $150,000, and you would sell this into existing ESRI customer spaces. And that's what you get. However, as a partner, you could, if you encounter new users who are not using ESRI, who do not have ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise, you could bundle the user types to help power that solution. And again, let's say it's 125K a year subscription for that instance. You can buy it as a partner at a margin of about 20, with a margin of about 20%, making an extra 25K in margin, and then you sell that whole bundle for 275. So again, you're selling your piece 150K plus the ArcGIS Online piece for 125. You're combining those list prices into one bundle, and as a result, you as a partner would net yourself an extra 125K of revenue and 25K profit. So these are hopefully good examples of the way this can work and the benefit to your company to, again, make extra money and blaze into new customer territory at the same time. Okay, so let's review the extend the ArcGIS platform. Again, when you're extending the platform, you sell with our sales teams, co-sell or via partner bundle, which we spend a lot of time on. The ArcGIS Marketplace, that's our digital sales channel. The ArcGIS Marketplace is a place where you can list not only your products that extend the platform, but you can list your bundles as well. So you put together a slick bundle. That bundle can be put in the marketplace, and of course you're marketing all this with the ESRI sales channel. Okay, let's move into embed. So now we're changing gears. Now, instead of extending, we're talking about actually embedding ArcGIS capabilities into solutions. And we kind of have three core models here. The first model is actually, once again, not even partnership is not even required. So in this first instance, what we're talking about is the native, or the cloud-based API. So the location-based services and base maps APIs that we have in the cloud in ArcGIS Online that are available for developers. So you can buy a developer subscription, and the developer subscription can access these APIs, and that's basically a monthly plan you can purchase with a standard rate. And of course, there are kind of pay-as-you-go credit considerations as well, based on the amount of geocodes you may be storing, or the routing services, or the storage of data. But again, this is simply a builder plan, a subscription. So again, base maps, routing, geocoding, okay, kind of those core capabilities for an application. Now, moving one step over here, we introduce a little more complexity and a little more functionality. Okay, we call this identity, or from the partner perspective, partner user types. So you as a partner can take this whole thing one step further and leverage the GIS infrastructure, either ArcGIS Online or Enterprise, and ArcGIS Identity. This would be access controlled identity and the ability to store private data. Okay, these are the two core things that identity, or those partner user types, allow for. Again, it's another step you can take, and to use partner user types, it's called solution delivery licensing. There is a sales contract or a sales authorization required, and you can do this. Just wanted to also point out that when you that with partner user types, they work with ArcGIS Online or Enterprise. Okay, so this could be some hosted solution, or it could be hosted, in ArcGIS Online. Now, the next step up here is taking it one step further and leveraging our advanced server capabilities in a solution. So again, this is another form of solution delivery licensing, and we're talking about things like, a geo event server, image server, and so forth. And with this model here, we typically move into more of a custom negotiation licensing, and we'll get more into that. But this is a different model. We typically look for a revenue share, but we'll discuss that in different slides. So three things here from left to right: location-based APIs and base maps, identity, and advanced capabilities. Okay, so the APIs and SDKs, again, we're talking about the core geocoding and searching, routing, base maps, okay, and some lightweight spatial analysis, all things that an application can have. And again, it's a developer subscription model. Okay, identity, partner user type. So a good way to think about these is you think about our regular user types. You've got viewers, you've got field workers, and you've got creators. And the viewers, obviously all they can do is view data, filter data, query data. So there's a light partner user type that matches up to a viewer. Think about a field worker user type. Typically, they have one more level of permission and the ability to edit data. They can add and create new points in a layer or features in a layer. They can edit attributes and so forth. And that's what the basic partner user type enables. And then think about a creator in the sense they can actually publish new layers and publish new data sets. And this is what the standard or advanced partner user types can do. So these are these are basically user types that are available to you as a partner to build with, to leverage our GIS infrastructure, but they don't necessarily enable the out-of-box applications like Web App Builder and Ops Dashboard and things like that, although those can be added on. So that's what the concept of the partner user types here is. And let's kind of go through an example of why you might move to partner user types. Let's say you've built an application that you sell and enables users to sign in. They've got the great base maps. They're using the developer subscription, and they can sign in. They can look at data. They can filter data, look at data, and so forth. And then one day or over the course of time, these customers begin to say, I'd really like to be able to store some of this data that I'm viewing in particular points in time to do analysis later on. I want to be able to store that as something else and save it. And this is when you'd start to say, now we have to kind of move to a different model because now this data has to be stored based on an account and privately hosted somewhere. So this is a great example is when you would move to a partner user type. You would now upgrading the functionality, leveraging our infrastructure to perform that ability for that user to then save a chunk of data to some backend system, this in ArcGIS Online or Enterprise. And again, these user types work with Enterprise or ArcGIS Online, so either approach can be done. Okay, when it comes to advanced capabilities, again, we're talking about bringing into the fold our advanced server capabilities. So a hosted solution that's going to leverage GIS infrastructure and these advanced workflows for a more advanced solution. And this is what we talk about when we talk about advanced capabilities. So let's move into some of the kind of business models around this. So as I already discussed, when it comes to client APIs and SDKs, this is a developer subscription. So you build a solution. You own the customer entirely in the embed model, and what you buy is a developer subscription, which is a monthly or annual purchase, and that is how ESRI receives revenue. Now there is also the credit consideration. So if this solution is going to be doing a lot of routing or store a lot of data, then there are credit considerations in addition to the annual plan, but there's models to build those out. Again, these are the location-based APIs and base maps. Moving up, again, identity. This is when we're introducing identity and private data hosting via those partner user types. And again, this is very important to understand. So in order to use a partner user type, there has to be ArcGIS Online or Enterprise as part of the solution. And so the model here with partner user types is that you don't go buy enterprise from ESRI. You don't go buy an ArcGIS Online organization from ESRI. You put in a sales contract that says, I want to use partner user types to build for my solution, because you as a company want to focus on your solution, your core competency. You don't want to solve the problem of identity and data storage in the cloud. We have that. So that's what a partner user type is doing for you. So in this case, you would define the solution with these user types. ESRI would furnish enterprise or ArcGIS Online organization for you for your solution. And then as you sell your solution and you sell the users, you sell X number of users for your customers with that solution, you come and buy partner user types as you go. Okay, so you go sell 1,000 users, you come buy 1,000 partner user types. You go sell 2,000 more users, you come buy 2,000 partner user types. That is how this works. We receive revenue through your purchase of the partner user types, but there is no limitation to you as far as what you need in the back end as far as enterprise or ArcGIS Online. When it comes to advanced capabilities now, again, we're introducing these advanced capabilities that we have: image server, GeoEvent server, geoanalytics, and others. Now you're bringing in these core capabilities into the solution. And again, you define the solution, what it needs. So maybe the solution is going to have enterprise and GeoEvent server. ESRI provides that technology up front as part of the sales authorization. It's your solution, you sell it, you own the customer, and the way we receive revenue is through a revenue share. So we say, okay, this solution you're going to sell has this ESRI technology on the back end in order to power it. We give you what is required for that solution, and as you sell that solution, the revenue you generate, you give a percentage of that to ESRI through a revenue share. These also typically we like to have annual minimums involved as well. So based on your sales projections, we'll try to come up with a very reasonable annual minimum, and and then we do a revenue share as well. And obviously we hope the revenue share is bigger than the annual minimum. But again, these are not huge percentages, and this is the model to do this. Now, there are other models, okay? So it does not have to be a revenue share. It's kind of what we prefer, but there can be other models. There can be per user models. There's different ways to achieve this, and we can work with partners on that. Okay, so when we talk about embedding capabilities, again, you're selling with ESRI teams. So the solution delivery model is the model that provides the partner user types and or advanced capabilities via revenue share model. The ArcGIS Marketplace is again a digital sales channel where you can list your solutions and applications, and of course you are marketing with ESRI. All right, so now I guess this is kind of the let's call this the final exam slide. But this is a bit of a busy slide, but I think it really hopefully will bring this together a little bit. So different models, and I talk about the model, I mean extend or embed, can accomplish the same outcome, or at least a very similar outcome. So let's say going back to one of our bundle slides, again, you're a partner, and your core thing that you sell is your data and your API access, okay? And you've gone ahead and you've built this web application that integrates with ESRI Identity, and as part of a solution. So this web application interacts with your data API. It uses ArcGIS Online to provide some spatial functionality, provide some extra functionality, and provide an area for the users to store analysis results back and view that with other data sets and so forth. So you can deliver that full end solution by creating a bundle that has your data API and web app and ArcGIS Online and the required ArcGIS user types. So the customer gets a single facing web application that does everything they need to do, and you're extending the platform. You're selling it as a bundle. You get a new customer that day, so does ESRI. You are supporting your API component of that, whereas ESRI is technically on the hook for tech support for the ArcGIS Online piece. The customer you sell this to either manages ArcGIS Online because they get that as a product and they become an ESRI customer, and then of course you get margin on that ArcGIS Online sale in that first year. So customer gets a solution and they get it this way. You could accomplish a very similar thing with the embed model. So again, you could have decided, well, you know what, I want to make it even easier for my customer, and I actually would rather license the ESRI technology in the back end and do more with it and have a tighter focused solution, maybe a more of a branded solution for my brand. And you could accomplish that same thing using partner user types. So you could provide that infrastructure for them in the solution versus bundling the ArcGIS line separately as part of it. And so in this case, you'd be using the solution delivery model. You would have it would be entirely your partner to customer relationship, as we would not have a relationship at all. Our relationship is with you in this situation. You support the entire solution. You would basically manage the ArcGIS Online in this case, um, and again you buy user types from ESRI as part of this configuration. So at the end of the day, the customer gets a web application that does what they need it to do. Both of these ways can enable that. Both of them have benefits for you, and it just it depends on how you prefer to operate and how you prefer to what kind of relationship you want to have. Okay, let's talk about delivering content. And content is it can be very similar to well, there's a solution delivery model for content creation and delivery with ESRI. So we've got three core categories of content: vector, imagery, and real time. So vector obviously is very straightforward. These are features, points, lines, polygons. Imagery, obviously raster data and imagery, and then of course real time. We talk about typically ingesting IoT feeds or real time feeds, and typically those end up becoming features, becoming vectors, but they may require a geo event server on the way in. So these are the three core content types. So this is a slide I built that I work with a lot of the emerging partners with content, and they don't understand the ESRI ecosystem, and so I kind of lay it out very clearly, hopefully for them. So going from left to right, we kind of have three pieces to this, right? We've got the partner native data. This partner sells data. They've got files, they've got tables, or they've got an API or an IoT feeds, or they have raster data. And this is their core content they want to sell, and they host that content in some kind of partner infrastructure, some kind of private cloud infrastructure, what have you. So they can use obviously ESRI capabilities to transform that content into ESRI ready format web services, right? So using, for files and tables, you can load that into Enterprise or ArcGIS Online and create feature services. Or for IoT feeds, you can stream those through GeoEvent server to create feature services. Or with rasters, you can index them with our image server and create these very powerful image services. And that is the ESRI ready format hosted in the cloud that is now ready to be injected into the entire ESRI client ecosystem. So if you have a feature service or an image service of the partner content, every one of our clients can work with that. Web, desktop, mobile, and don't forget the developer APIs and SDKs. So any customer who's building with our developer tools, any GIS services company that's building solutions with our developer tools, defense contractors, integrators, all these folks, those solutions they are building can consume these feature and image services of your content if you do this. So this enables you to get into the entire ecosystem, out-of-box products or solutions people are building. And so that's the objective here. So this is why this is so closely that's why this is basically a solution delivery model, because as you can see, to create that content, to create image services or to create feature services from IoT data, you can use Enterprise and you can use GeoEvent server and these advanced capabilities, and you can host those and a host of content solutions. So the idea here is you take your content and you host the ESRI technology where you have your content, and you create those ESRI ready formats, and you go to town and sell into our customer channel. Okay, so and again, just like a full-on solution, even though this is content, this is a hosted content solution. So again, the technology can be furnished to you up front. You sell that content in ESRI format, and when that content is sold in that ESRI ready format, that is subject to the revenue share model. Okay, so very good way for content partners to participate in this model as well. Okay, so kind of wrapping up content here. So obviously, solution delivery model is a great model to license ESRI technology to create that ESRI ready format to get into the ESRI ecosystem. So this model works great for content partners, and I also think that pursuing that model and that revenue sharing relationship, and then putting that content in the ArcGIS marketplace is a fantastic digital channel for content providers to pursue. Being in the marketplace, of course, not only is a great lead generation and sales channel, but the ability to capitalize on the access controls that ArcGIS Online provides for delivering that content are really really powerful as kind of a distribution system. So this works great for content partners as well, and of course we're always marketing things in the marketplace and marketing your solutions across the ESRI sales force. Okay, well that wraps up the presentation. I hope this was useful for you, and thanks for listening.